Welcome to Punch Talk Wrestling! On this episode, we debut the first in our series of Icon Watch-Along matches as we revisit Mankind vs. The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell 1998. I am R.W. Hellborn, the PA Rock Prince, hailing quote-unquote from Philly! And I am one half of the Crown, which is one half of your Punks Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion hosts of the world! Now, then, and forever by my side, 3,500 miles away in London, England. He's my tag team podcast partner. He is the other half of the Crown, which is the other half of your Punks Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion host of the world, Mr. Did You Know, Sir King of Reels, the proper prick, C.J. Newman!
Did you know that the Hell in the Cell has been around for 27 years? Obviously, it arrived in 1997. And in that time, over the last 27 years, how many Hell in the Cell matches do you reckon there have been?
42. 45, the number of episodes this is.
No. Give one more guess.
How long do I have?
You can just give me one more guess. Just give me one more guess.
Well, no, I mean, usually the background music's going to play for a minute, so I'm just going to let it.
Yeah, I didn't do this one properly, did I? It's been a long night.
Just say you got a minute. You get 3 guesses in a minute and go.
All right, you got 3 guesses, 30 seconds, go.
I'll edit it back in later. 19.
No.
Jeez. 28.
No. One more guess.
Was that warmer or colder?
That was warmer.
Oh, 30. 31?
No. It's 52. It's been 52. That means you could watch one Hell in a Cell match a week for a whole year.
You could.
There's 52 Hell in a Cell matches, and here you go. I'll give you another one.
Oh, did you bonus?
Yeah. Well, this is a did you bonus, but I'm gonna ask you a question. But you'll probably get it in one. Which wrestler has appeared in more Hell in a Cell matches than anyone else? And I'm giving you another 30 seconds.
Yeah. Triple H.
No.
Batista.
No.
Oh, of course, Jinder Mahal.
No.
Oh shit! I really thought that was going to be it.
You got 10 seconds.
Kane?
No. Right, you're done. How the fuck did you not guess The Undertaker? What the fuck?
Because I thought it was a trick question. I thought it was a trick.
No! Undertaker's appeared in 14 Hell in a Cell matches. Triple H is second. He's appeared in 9 Hell in a Cell matches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it would have been right if I would have actually, picked the obvious choice.
Yeah,
I
Jinder Mahal...
figured it had to have been a trick question.
Jinder Mahal's featured in 0 Hell in a Cell matches.
That's we've got to change that somehow.
And one more thing,
I'm going to put him in Hell in a Cell 1998 2K24.
Just make it a triple threat.
Just make it exactly. It's going to be Mankind versus The Undertaker versus Jinder Mahal. Hell in a Cell, 1998 on 2K24.
Who was probably like 12 years old at the time. So another thing, which isn't really a fact, but it's pretty cool that there's been 52 matches. The last Hell in a Cell match we had was Edge versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania 39. There's not been a Hell in a Cell match since.
Oh, after the exit, after they kicked him out of Judgment Day.
Yeah. So there hasn't been a Hell in a Cell match in almost a year and a half. And they've scrapped the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view because there wasn't one last year. And I like the fact that they got rid of that. Because one thing I missed about the Hell in a Cell is the fact that you knew it was coming every year. One thing I loved about the Hell in a Cell back in the early thousands was it would end rivalries. There would be no other option, but we've been fighting each other for months. The only way we can end this is a Hell in a Cell match. And now the Hell in a Cell match can go back to being that. It gets bought out.
You can put it where it fits in the storyline.
Exactly.
Instead of having to write a storyline around getting a Hell in a Cell match in March.
Exactly, and that's as well. If you notice, they've gotten rid of the TLC event as well because TLC matches were good for rivalries.
I think it became. I mean, they wanted to feature, and I understand it's part of the cycle, you know.
Yeah,
but
I think since Triple H has come in, he's gotten rid of the stipulation themed pay-per-views.
Yes,
because it's like
stipulation themed pay-per-views lack.
We can now not have a Hell in a Cell match for like 2 more years maybe, and then suddenly someone comes along and it's like, there's only one way we can settle this Hell in a Cell. The crowd will pop for that.
Yeah, but also when you see Hell in a Cell on the list of PLEs in November, you're like it's February and you see the list of already PLEs slated. It's like, well, I know there's going to be Hell. I mean, yes, I'm looking forward to it, but I know there's going to be exactly what you said. I'm just repeating a different way.
It loses its magic a little bit. It's like, like for example, they used to have the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and then a few months later, it was Undertaker versus Shane McMahon in a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. It's like, so you're telling me it can be used any time of the year, but we are choosing just to have it once? It just didn't make any sense. So,
well, they were relying on it as a little extra.
Yeah.
Pop.
So I guess it's nice that we're now back in an era of when the Hell in a Cell could pop up at any moment, which is great. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
So we're going into the Hell in a Cell match. Obviously, one of the most infamous matches of all time. It's kind of crazy it's taken us almost this long to even delve into this in this podcast. This match, this is we're watching Mankind versus The Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell match from the King of the Ring pay-per-view from 1998. It was held on June 28th, 1998. Obviously, we're releasing it this week because this would be what anniversary we talking? 20 fucking hell, maths,
yeah, man.
26th anniversary.
26, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I did not watch this match live. I mean, I was 9-ish years, about 9 years old, coming up 10 soon enough, I guess. I just turned 9 years old when this match happened.
Yeah.
So I was watching wrestling at this time, but being able to watch wrestling live over here was not that easy, especially pay-per-views. So
and this wasn't even a Big Five pay-per-view.
It wasn't even deemed. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess Hell in a Cell itself was relatively new.
But this is the third Hell in a Cell match in history. The first was obviously a year before with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. The second,
the infamous, and that was the introduction of Kane.
But this is the third ever Hell in a Cell. The second Hell in a Cell match. A lot of people think that this is the second Hell in a Cell match, but the third Hell in a Cell match happened about 2 weeks before this on an episode of Raw. It was Stone Cold and The Undertaker versus Mankind and Kane.
Yeah.
And that led to Kane and Steve Austin in a First Blood match, the first ever First Blood match at this event, and also led to Undertaker versus Mankind in a Hell in a Cell match So, how's about we watch Undertaker versus Mankind, King of the Ring, 1998?
Yeah!
So, yeah, for context for everyone, if you want to watch along with us, yeah, I'm on the WWE Network here in the UK, and I'm at 1 hour, 46 minutes and 29 seconds, and RW's...
And I'm on Peacock at 1 hour, 46 minutes and 49 seconds.
That's right. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, go, okay?
Yeah.
All right, you go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, go!
Oh, Jesus. I didn't expect you to be that quick.
Oh.
That's good. We're good. I'm good.
Okay, I'm good too, yeah.
Yeah. So this was in the Civic Arena, I think, which was in Pennsylvania as well. So, the Civic Arena.
Yes. Oh, in Philly. Right.
No, it's in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh, yeah.
In Pennsylvania, yeah. But
Yeah. Because there was a Civic Center in Philly as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
But this is the Civic Arena.
Yeah. How many times have you watched this match?
I mean, at least a dozen. I would say probably at least a dozen because I've rewatched it. I mean, I feel like you and I have rewatched it just during the pandemic at one time.
I think we may have done potentially.
We probably talked about it.
It's one of those matches, if you're a wrestling fan, you revisit. If you're a new wrestling fan, you just started watching wrestling yesterday, you've gone back to watch it. Yeah. It's infamous. Like, it's the match that made this man coming out right now, it made him famous. Like, everyone remembers and knows Mick Foley because of this match.
Yep, pretty much. And I'm one of the guys, like I said, I didn't watch WCW for the reasons why I said on our Patreon. But my bonus episode, RW Rants, episode 1. Why you don't have to know everything. You and I both, we're mainly WWE viewers. And I didn't watch WCW, and I didn't watch ECW. I really didn't know Cactus Jack, other than I knew other people talk about him.
Yeah.
So it got me excited. When Mankind came out, when I first saw Mankind, I didn't know Mankind was anybody else. Before that, I didn't know about Cactus Jack.
Yeah, same.
So then once I found out, it was another one of those, oh shit, that's cool. Now I know more. Now I'm more invested in this character already. I didn't feel like I had to go back and rewatch everything he's ever done or know everything about him to still enjoy what it is right now.
Yeah. So, interesting fact. Going into this straight away, Mankind was going into this match with a dislocated shoulder, and Undertaker was going into this match with a broken ankle.
Yeah.
So
what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
There's a shout out to Wikipedia. There is a Wikipedia page just for Mankind versus The Undertaker.
Yeah. I mean, it's
called, this match is, when you say Mankind versus The Undertaker, this is the match.
This is the match, yeah. And like it's crazy. We're over 25 years. We're a quarter of a century after this match, and it's still being talked about. I don't know if I can even go a month without someone mentioning this match. It gets mentioned all the time.
It just comes up all the time.
Yeah. And it's also one of those matches where, like...
Oh, look, the Fireflies are out.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
For The Undertaker.
Yeah. It's also one of those...
Just a little reminder there.
Yeah.
It wasn't... as much as it was wonderful, and it is wonderful, and the thing was great, and the thing is great, and it still is great. People holding up their lighters and holding up their cell phone lights is not a new thing.
Yeah. But I would say definitely, like, Bray Wyatt definitely made it a thing. Oh, by the way, he
became the person who made it a thing after The Undertaker.
Look at this entrance, though. Look how close that pyro is going off next to him.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? This was during the time...
He's also not flinching. What the fuck? How is he not flinching?
Well, he's talked about how there's been times where the one time that the pyro went off and it set his jacket on fire.
Yeah. And that's like 10 years after this event.
Yeah. I cannot believe how fucking close those were.
Man.
Looking back now. Also, I don't know if this is true or if this is just me creating false memories, but I believe that this was not the intention to start on the top, and kind of Mick Foley kind of went up there thinking, I need to buy time because we're both injured. Like,
no,
we can't
so the story is this was all planned, but
it was all planned to start at the top.
Yeah, so Mick Foley was watching this going into this. Mick Foley watched the original Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and he was watching it with Terry Funk, and he was watching it and being like, "How the fuck do we top this?" Like, because obviously that first Hell in a Cell match,
it's so iconic.
No one had ever seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
It was like a cage match on another level.
Yeah.
So they were talking.
Starting.
Yeah, he was starting on top. Here we go. So they were talking, and Mick was like, "Well, the only way we can top it is if I come off the top, because in the one prior, Shawn Michaels came off like the side from like
That's
halfway
right. They
up.
broke the cage. They broke through the cage.
No. They didn't break through the cage in the first. No.
What happened in the first one?
What you mean? You mean to exit the cage? You mean?
Well, Kane ripped the door off.
No, that was at the end.
That was at the end.
Yeah, remember they escaped prior to that happening, and Shawn Michaels was halfway up the cell, and he
I don't remember because this overshadows it so much. I haven't gone back and watched that one.
Shawn Michaels was halfway up the. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh shit! Fuck!
Yeah.
Like right there already. The first thing they step over and it's already breaking up there.
Yeah, like it's being held together with cable ties. It's so fucked up.
You don't realize that until after the fact, and you really look at it. It really is just fucking
so
cable ties.
Dangerous. Look how much that it's bowing. This is 600 pounds worth of man right here.
They should not be doing this.
I know, and here it comes.
I really thought.
You ready?
Here it is. You ready? Toss.
Oh, man. It never gets old.
Good God Almighty!
He's broken in half. The King is just like, that's it. He killed him.
That's it. He killed. Yeah, just so nonchalantly. I mean, yeah, dude, that was just. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, and you can tell by the look. So yeah, what I was saying. You
can tell he's worried. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell he's worried. He's looking around like, are we going to help him
did I
or
actually
what?
Kill
what
him?
the fuck? So the story goes, they were talking, and obviously in the original match, Shawn Michaels came off the side of the cage through a table, and Mick Foley was like, the only way we're going to top this is if I come off the top, just like that replay, and and he was like, the only way we're going to top it is if I do that. Undertaker was against it, but somehow Mick Foley convinced him to do it, and the rest is history.
Yeah, dude, it's just. But
nothing.
But the fact is, I mean, the other thing is, obviously, of course, you've got to tell people not to do any of this shit.
There's Terry Funk.
Mick Foley is just a different kind of human being. Like,
there's been no one
talk about this kind of shit.
No one before him, no one since him.
Yeah,
he's his own breed.
You know, there was just the interview, the Chris Van Vliet interview with Mark Henry that, as of this airing, would have been probably 3 weeks ago. Like, he talks about just being different. Like the shit that Mark Henry is able to do, he's just different. John Cena is just a different kind of human being.
But that's what makes people Undertaker's a one of one.
Yeah,
Mankind, Mick Foley is a one
Brock
of one.
Brock Lesnar is a one of one.
Yeah,
like. The fact that he could actually survive that shit is fucking remarkable, because people should not be able to survive that shit. Like,
yeah, the fact that he flew off that cell with a fucking dislocated shoulder as well. It's wild.
It's just like but he also just, it's when you are that truly invested in the. It is like JR. I mean, I agree. It is inhuman. Like,
you know what? It's crazy
no pad
though.
Under the,
there's
no airbag under there.
He really couldn't have landed it better. Honestly, like he nailed the fucking landing. It hurt like shit. I'm sure it did, but he nailed that fucking landing because that he couldn't have landed any more perfectly.
Yeah, but and the thing, you knew that they both knew because of their injuries they couldn't really have much of a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And with what had happened, this really wasn't a wrestling match.
No.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, it was his other shoulder. The dislocated shoulder was the one that he actually fell on, like, first, because he rolled through that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but, like, jeez. Yeah, and then Undertaker's like, what the fuck do we do? Like, this is the show. Like, they're raising... This chaos is unbelievable still to this day. Every time you watch it back.
Yeah. So another crazy thing is going into this match, I guess Vince McMahon knew what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But Vince had asked Mick Foley if he'd been up to the top of the cell just prior to the event, and Mick lied to him and said he had.
Yeah.
And then Vince asked him, "Are you comfortable with being up there?" And Mick Foley said yes, but the truth of it is Mick Foley had not been up on top of the cell. The first time he'd ever been up there was this match, just what we just watched.
Yeah.
So he just lied to him, basically.
Because the thing is, he also knew that's the other thing. He knew if he had gone up there beforehand, he wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
He knew that it had to have been. He knew he had to do it for the first time live with no return. Like, that's the performer. That's like, I get that. That's what the things that the shit that he put himself through. Few people actually understand why someone would ever do that, and it's just because it's who you are. Like, it is the epitome of that is who Mick Foley is. And there's no other way for him to be. It's either that or nothing, like, because the worst, when you stifle something, like, yes, he could have killed himself so many times and they shouldn't have let him do it.
Yeah.
And no one's going to let it, and they don't want, like, it's why they're so much more careful. It's why we talk,
oh, yeah.
It's why we talk about banned moves.
It's a lightning in the bottle situation. Like, you're never going to see anything like this ever again.
But the fact is, he knew, just like any contractors who signed on to work on the Death Star, especially the rebuilt Death Star, you knew what you were signing on for.
Yep,
like, he agreed. He needed to do this for himself. He needed to leave his mark.
Yeah.
He needed to ensure his infamy. And I get it. I totally fucking get it. And I commend him for it. I loved him for it. But fuck, man, it's just like this is fucking scary as shit. Even knowing that he survived, it's still fucking scary, man.
You got to think that, like, at this point, I'm pretty sure Undertaker thought this match was over. And, like, you got to think, like, what everything they did. Here we go. Here we go again. Now, obviously, this was not planned.
Yeah,
this was a complete accident. You can see all the cable ties in the ring.
That's it. He's dead.
Like, it's fucked. That right there.
Like, I think everybody literally thought, like, I'm fucking shaking, man.
Yeah, Undertaker has said he thought he'd killed him at that moment, because if you think about it, if that was on another panel, like, further to the edge, that would have surely killed him.
Yeah.
Because he would have been nearer the ropes, he would have landed straight on the floor, he would have landed on a ring post, like...
There are so many ways, like... There is so many ways, and his ankle's broken, and he's jumping down there with a broken ankle. You saw how he barely even acknowledged it.
Here comes Terry Funk, very pissed off Terry Funk.
He's like, I got to do something.
Just buying some time.
Just buying some time, man. Fucking chokeslam.
It's so wild that, like, this match continued. How wild is this?
Oh, there it is. I finally saw it. He kicked his shoe, chokeslammed him out of his shoes.
Yeah.
He kicked his own shoes off.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Like I don't know. I think it was just for some.
So apparently
Fuck.
Mick Foley doesn't remember anything of the match after this moment.
I'm sure he doesn't, man.
So obviously the chair landed and hit him in the head on the way down. And he's also said that moment there where Undertaker punches him is the scariest moment of his entire career. Because his legs just disappeared from underneath him and he just crumpled like a sack of potatoes. Wild. Absolutely wild. And you'll never see anything like this ever again.
No, of course not. Of course not. You know, you want to, exactly. You just want to talk about.
It's the Wild West of professional wrestling here.
Yeah, I don't ever want to see anything like this ever again.
Yeah, and it's
that's
great.
The thing. I don't.
You know, it's great that it happened, and it's like it's good that we have it, and it's good that it never gets boring.
How is he still doing anything?
Yeah, I know.
And why are they locking the cage again?
I know it. Like so many questionable decisions happening in this.
And there it is, the infamous tooth up the nose.
Yeah.
Like it. I didn't realize until later how that went through the hard way. Like that was the top of his tooth coming through his gums up through his skin into his nose. Not a broken tooth. Like I don't even know how that happened.
You got to think in that chokeslam spot at the top there, like. What? Imagine Undertaker was standing on the same panel. Like, they both would have gone through.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been...
How is he fucking standing? How is he walking and picking up stairs? Like, I mean, he can't even pick it up. Like, obviously he can't. But, like, people watching this... Guys, I mean, he's fucking crying. It looks like... God, it's painful, man.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah,
it never gets easier to watch.
I mean, you got to think like Undertaker. I don't know what Undertaker's think. I mean, I know Undertaker going into this match, like he didn't want to throw Foley. He didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and I just can't believe that. I can't believe that it started that way. Like, they didn't think, like, man, maybe that's how it ends. Maybe we end it that way.
Yeah.
Like, that could have been, I mean, a lot of things would have changed. A lot of things would have been different. But, like, if the goal was, if that spot should have been the end. Either way.
Either way.
Either way, it
would have gone down in history.
Meaning it should have happened at the end. They should have done something.
Oh, they should have ended on that spot. Yeah.
They should have done anything. They should have started in the ring.
I guess the match kind of happened in reverse, like in the order of spots, I guess.
And that's and I think that's also one of the things that makes it. I mean, it makes it so complicated, and it makes it just such an anomaly.
Yeah.
In the history of all of these matches,
I think you got that spot where they at the start where he chucks him off. Like that's probably the biggest spot to ever start a match.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the kind of thing you end shit on. You don't start it on like things like that. It's like a band starting on their like best song to start a show. Fucking wild.
Well, I mean, I do that in Riverside Out. We start with more rock and roll because it is the best song. I mean, it's literally the best song about rock and roll. Sit down,
Power Driver.
Oh, here it comes. Wait. Let's make sure. There it is.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you and I are still in sync, because sometimes we even get out of sync with.
Oh, I just said it before it happened.
Yeah. 1, 2. No.
So yeah, Tim White for whatever reason was like the Hell in a Cell referee for us.
Yeah.
For a while, he was the
Tough
guy.
Tim White, man.
He would always officiate these matches, and he would always he'd already take spots in these matches as well. Now and again. And it's crazy, like, saying Mick Foley does not remember this match, but here he is dropping a leg drop on a chair on the head.
But here, I can tell you from personal experience, there have been times where I performed on stage an entire set, and I was not there. some for good reason, some for bad reason. But there's been because these people. I mean, he's done these things so many times. It's muscle memory. Like he's going through. He's going through whatever his muscle remembers how to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It is literally second by second, and I know where I am. I know where I am because my hand is on the apron. Yeah. I know I'm outside of the ring. Like
you can
I know
tell,
I'm grabbing the like. There's all it is moment by moment, and there's no retention. There is. Yeah. It's an immediate dump of everything. Like, but he knew there were tacks under the ring. Like he knew this beforehand. So
yeah, well, you know what's crazy? So I've done my research in this match. Can you tell? So after this match, when it was all said and done, and they were out the back, and Mick Foley was getting tacks removed from his body, apparently he said to a bunch of the guys that were with him at the time, he was apologizing because he said, "I'm sorry that we missed the tack spot." he couldn't. He was getting tacks removed from his body, and he told them he apologized for missing the spot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're like, Mick, you're having tacks removed from you like right now. So he completely
that is
forgot.
Scary fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you knew, of course. I mean, and again, say whatever you want to say about however you want to say it, but like the genuine concern, you don't understand the way people have concern and for these guys and. We knew about it with the Undertaker match where Vince left WrestleMania and like to the hospital with the Undertaker.
Yeah.
You can't possibly understand the relationships some of these people have.
Oh yeah.
And this is why, like, this goes to something. John Cena received a lot of criticism recently for not just blatantly condemning and Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You know, when they were trying to get him to say negative things.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the tax.
Here comes the tax spot.
Oh,
we're gonna, yeah.
It's always brutal.
And I will tell you, you know what?
And then he rolls in them.
And then he rolls into it. Anyway, but the point of that is, you don't understand what you can't possibly understand what it's like to be in the position that John Cena, a person like John Cena is in.
Yeah.
It's just not his place to talk about. Like, it's just anyway. Oh fuck! There it is.
Oh man.
But, and you can still see his tooth coming out of his nose.
Mark Henry, at the end of the day, Mark Henry said it in the podcast with Chris Van Vliet, and he said that it's a brotherhood at the end of the day, and it is a brotherhood. Like you're literally, your life is in someone else's hands.
Yeah, so. especially when doing dangerous shit like this.
Yeah.
1, 2,
3, that's it.
3. That's it. Thank God it's over.
Wild. Fucking wild.
Holy shit. Yeah, I've never agreed with King more than that.
Yeah. Insane, absolutely insane match.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's crazy. Like, I think every time a Hell in a Cell match comes along, everyone's like, everyone wants to see someone thrown from the. I mean, to be honest, this is the first and last time we've seen someone thrown from the cell. Obviously, since then we've seen Shane McMahon jump from the cell, and we've seen people fall from the side of the cell, but we've never seen anyone thrown from it like this.
Rikishi.
Oh yeah,
but that was onto a flatbed, a very well padded flatbed covered in hay
and stuff. Yeah,
that was also like an additional that 8 an extra 8 feet that they didn't fall through.
Yeah, exactly.
Terry Funk's back. He's got his shoes back.
Oh, that's not Terry Funk. That's a trainer.
Oh shit! It looked like Terry Funk.
It's a doctor, I think.
Oh.
And yeah, apparently, so Mankind or Mick Foley was speaking to Mike Chioda, and obviously didn't really remember much. And he was telling, he asked Mike Chioda, he was like, "Have I been on a stretcher already tonight?" And Mike Chioda answered, "Yeah," and he said, basically said, I have a 1 stretcher per night quota. So that's why, I guess right here, Mike Chioda's in the ring right now. He must be.
What? Oh, is this what?
It must be when he asked him. He's like, basically, I'm walking out. I only get in a stretcher once a night. Yeah. Yeah, he's talking to him right now. There you go.
There he is. He's talking.
There you go.
Like,
there it is.
There it is. Have I been on a stretcher tonight? Have I already been on a stretcher? Holy shit! This is how fucking insane of a person he really is with this. Is completely passed out, completely destroyed, body and concussed. But he knows who he is.
His mind, body, and spirit is broken.
It is the will. It is sheer power of will.
Yeah,
that he does
slow-mo
these
shot
things.
Right here.
And people don't have. There just certain people have this, and certain people don't.
What I love about this shot, the faraway shot when you can see all the crowd, is like, you got the stewards that are like facing away from the action, and they're like looking at the crowd. Like that happens, they see the reaction of all of the crowd, and even the stewards turn around, security guards turn around. They're like, "What happened?"
Well,
like no one could turn away in that moment.
God, I cannot even imagine, because oh wait, he's still trying to tell him not. He's still on the stretcher. He's still talking to Mike Chioda.
Yeah, here he comes.
Here he comes. He's like, no.
What? He is so, like, you can tell by the way he's moving, like.
He's so broken.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I've had some intense workouts, but like, that I felt broken afterwards. But that's a different kind of broken.
But yeah, apparently he got to the back and everything, and Vince, I think the next night on Raw, the crazy thing is,
Terry Funk.
This motherfucker had a match the next night on Raw.
Yeah, I don't understand how. I don't understand. I mean, I do. I understand how, but like, my physical body, I don't like. I could never go through this.
Yeah.
But it's, and it's Terry Funk and Mike Chioda.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Slaughter walking him out.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, and apparently the next night Vince was just like, I never want to see you do anything like that again. And if you think about it, he never really did do anything like that again. I think that was after this, Mankind, the Mankind character became more of a comedy act. If you think about it,
it sort of gave him they gave him a break.
Yeah, and then it wasn't until he turned into Cactus Jack that we'll call it an end to the watch along there. But it wasn't until
we'll call it because they're zoomed in on Jerry Lawler. Oh, well, yeah, Jerry Lawler zoomed in on the thumbtacks there.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll pause the.
Yeah, it wasn't until like the Cactus Jack in the year 2000 when we had obviously the street fight and the Hell in a Cell match between Triple H. Like that's when he had his last kind of moment with like really big spots. Obviously they did the spot where he went through the cell and through the ring, but that was obviously quite a set up spot. That was done safely. So. Yeah, he never done anything like this again. That's for sure, and good because he certainly shouldn't.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like, and again, there was still another match they had to do after that. Like,
yeah,
I don't think they anticipated what was going to happen either. And it was a first blood. It was the first ever first blood match.
Yeah,
like the fact. I almost feel like we should just continue and watch that match. Just to give it a little bit of credit, but they lowered the cage again, and there was all sorts of shenanigans. Mankind came back out.
Yeah. Oh shit, he had a run-in in that match. He
had a run-in during that match.
That's wild.
He was back out before the end of the night.
Just think, man, he didn't go to the hospital.
Yeah.
He didn't go. He went back to his hotel room that night.
I can't believe they allowed him to
I know he could have died in his sleep or some shit. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He shouldn't have gone to sleep unattended. That's fucking crazy. Crazy.
Here it is. In the aftermath, Foley suffered several injuries: a concussion, a dislocated jaw and shoulder, bruised ribs, internal bleeding, puncture wounds, several teeth knocked out. After considering retirement, believing wrestling had passed him by, the match made Foley change his approach to wrestling, concluding he could not continue taking such dangerous bumps, leading to his Mankind character becoming a more gentle one who would later form a tag team with The Rock and use the anthropomorphic sock named Mr. Sacco. Yeah, this led to... But also, what a way... I mean, we talked about this in one of our very earlier episodes. This was the WCW... That was Halloween Havoc 1991, when we review of Halloween Havoc. I think it was Halloween Havoc or Fall Brawl. I can't remember which one. Had the Cactus Jack, like... the one with where Cactus Jack, he had the bag...
Oh yeah, the bag thing. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's like the precursor to the Undertaker with his urn and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Either way, it was one of those two. It was either episode 15, Fall Brawl 1993, or it was episode 12, Halloween Havoc 1991.
Yeah.
But that was like, I saw the first, that was the first time I really saw Cactus Jack. I watched Cactus Jack in that era.
Right.
And seeing the precursors of what he did in WWE through Mankind, and then seeing the continually re-evolving his character into something else. That's why he is so, like, he has it in him, the performer. Like Mark Henry said when he spotted Bianca Belair, like, she was in a weightlifting. She was in like a weightlifting competition, and she was wasting energy dancing around, she's a performer. She's on stage and she's doing feats of strength, and she's a performer. She's got it in her. She's like, gotta come to the WWE.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Like Mick has to do this. This is what he is, a performer, and having to limit him, forcing himself to limit himself.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's like, what actually, considering the date that this is actually going to air, what a way to cap off Men's Mental Health Awareness Month with an episode about a dude recognizing his limits and saying, you know what? Yeah, no more after this. I think I've tested my limits enough.
Yeah.
I think I certainly am
if
okay.
anyone has, it's Mick Foley, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with never doing shit like this again.
You could do a fucking medical case study on that guy's body. Like,
yeah,
he really tested the limits of what a human body could endure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Up there with like Evel Knievel.
Anyhow.
Oh boy.
What else?
Is there anything else?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's it. The match is over. We've been done. The match has been done for a while. Shout out. Did we do the shout outs?
No, you didn't.
Shout out to Wikipedia. Support Wikipedia. It's where we get the majority of all of our information for what we talk about. Shout out to new followers that we may have gotten through the week since this was a pre-recorded episode. I won't know and just assume that we've got more.
We will, of course we will. We always do.
You know?
We're doing good. We're doing good shit.
Yeah. Make sure to give us the hashtag. Give it what I want. That's GIBBYWAHIWAN. Give it what I want. It's unnecessarily long, I know, but that's part of who we are. It's what we do. It's like Mark Henry when he it's like Mark Henry turning on John Cena. It's what I do.
It's what he does.
It's what I do, man. Fucking man, that suit, and the AJ
yeah,
turn
man.
With the powder. I mean, it wasn't the same color, but it was.
Oh, but it was a nod. It was 100%
it was the nod.
a nod.
It was a nod. Yep. It's like, oh man.
Different color
So
jacket,
good.
Same shit. If anyone comes out in a pastel colored blazer.
If anyone comes out to make an announcement in a pastel suit, yeah, they're turning. Someone's getting a beat down.
Yeah.
And I love it. I fucking love it.
That's right. We just hit our 5th hour of record. Let's put it this way. I started recording at 2 p.m. and you finished recording at 2 p.m.
At 2 p.m. Yeah, man. And we're not even finished because we still have the intro to this episode. So why don't we finish what else I have to say? Interact with us on social media, Instagram and Threads at Punks Talk Wrestling, Facebook and TikTok at Punks Talk Wrestling, YouTube at Punks Talk Wrestling. We'll get some stuff up on there soon. Patreon.com/Punks Talk Wrestling, where there's going to be some extra bonus content from time to time. And next week's episode, if these comes out in the order that we think it will, we might be doing a solo episode.
Yeah, well, the next couple of weeks will maybe that way. Yeah, so either next week's going to be a solo from me or from RW.
Or there might have been a solo episode before this episode.
You never fucking know.
And we're out of order. We won't know until post.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're both gonna do flying solo. Not meaning solo Sokoa. Just air solo. Flying on the backs of the whatever I was gonna go with. I'm just gonna stop right there.
Oh God, it's been a long day.
It's been a long day. Let's end this episode.
Let's end it right here. We put in a full shift today.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
That's
I like it. Can we end this episode?
All right, bye. We're done now. Bye.